Okay, so we are in the main part. I was giving you guys hints in previous ones what the fuck we're doing here, and this is finally my aligned me because I was trying to make it perfect, but God said to me, I already made you perfect, so everything what I've made you, what I've created, what I agreed to come and do here is to expose the corruption and awaken people that all of you also can be holy. Yes, God said, finish them. Mercy is mine to decide, not for you. Where are we going with this? I can't put the light on because, as you guys know, I've got spy devices, people watching me, listening to what I am doing. But before I actually will go with my freestyle speech, I've got some notes for you to understand a bit more what the fuck I'm doing here and about everything here. Full awakening. So, for everybody who knows me from my childhood or who were my friends for some time, etc., they've been hearing from me certain things which I will be speaking now. You are gonna be like, we're fucked. You are. Everything the churches has taught you is a lie and propaganda piece written by Satan. So basically, for me to create perfect speech and stuff, I was trying to like revise Bible again and like seek. I had to lock myself out from everything and to get fully my powers back. I was trying to revise Bible, but since I was a child, education wasn't my kind of thing, because since I was a kid, like I told you, from the first religion lesson to other lessons like historical and etc., I just did not think some information. I was telling people throughout all my life that school is just some fucked up organization and things they are telling us are a lie. So God made me in the way that whatever is a lie, it just doesn't come and doesn't sync with me. This is why also I am very unique. Holy Bible is 80% wrong. And not even mentioned in Quran, whatever, yeah. We'll get to that why all the sons were named by the names, but then if somebody had daughters, it was just daughters, and tra-la-la-la. So I will explain you this in a minute. Now that we agree that Bible religions are false, and Yahweh, Bog, God and Allah, if you put in a translation, they all from different countries, meaning basically God, yes? But who is God? And the one God. I am here also to make you understand, and this is why I've made some notes, some quotes from different books, to make you guys realize that you are all more than a human. We are actually part of fallen angels trapped in a material world through reincarnation. And I recommend the book of The Last Supper. So, the story we were told is that Satan was an angel who rebelled against God and got kicked out of heaven. No. And this should at least trigger the memory of people who are born 1986 and older, especially in Poland. I don't know what kind of education was in other countries, like on religions lessons and a history, but everything is completely backwards. So The Last Supper is a book where is a conversation between John and Jesus. And John asked Jesus about Satan, and Jesus answered that Satan used to be a top angel before pride overtook him. Now this this is so clear and basic, and as far as I know that many will still not get it, because just like with COVID, things were obvious, but stupid people religiously took the jabs. And others with common sense and those who say that they believe but don't go to church will get the confirmation that you are right. And you're gonna get awakened. Some people gonna get like straight from 3D to 4D. I wish you go to 5D. Tralala. Yeah. So Satan sees the glory of the true God and say, hey, I want throne above the clouds. I want to be God. The Last Supper give details about rebellion. I am giving you shorts, which I know for who has a brain it will activate straight away. The rest who wants to be like me or other smart people will seek their knowledge and they will find it. That is exactly why actually Jesus came to the world, to give you these instructions. He did not say follow me. He used the instructions to be like him. So we all are gods. Satan didn't just say, I am God now. He took his journey through 4 classical elements: air, water, and fire. Air, water, earth, and fire. So that should kick in the memory to some. Satan descended into the air. He said to the angel of air, open unto me the gates of the air. And he opened them. Air represents intellect. Then he went to waters and said to angel of waters, open unto me the gates of water. And he did. Water represents emotion and depths of unconscious and intuition. And he passed through and found earth, symbolically representing the material world which we are in. And the earth submerged. This is in Genesis. Then Satan passed through the earth and found 2 fishes lying upon the waters, holding the earth. That's the yin yang. Financial structure. Then Satan found hell, the Gehenna of fire. Fire represents passion, and could go no further as the 5th element, universe, belongs only to God. Long story short, Satan on the way back dealing with all the angels, he is deceiving them on the gates, saying to them, these things are mine. If you hearken unto me, I will set my seat and be like Most High and give them to you, and we will rule together. And the angels bore it. So Satan started recruiting followers from God's angels, and a lot of angels fell for it and became the fallen angels. Exactly, the number was 33.3% of angels. Numbers matter. When Almighty Father saw this, he commanded his angels to take their garments, thrones, and crowns. The 5th element represents spirit. This is my galaxy, anyway. And only true power of light has he is the superior of all. Okay, so when they realized there is no way back to the heaven, they decided to build their own world in here. Moon and earth is like some people, there are many people that actually realize that moon is black and white reflection of the earth, basically. It's like the mirror. We'll get to that. So we are currently in hell, the biblical purgatory. John in chapter 12:31 says, "Now the ruler of this world will be cast out." And in Corinthians 2, Paul says, he calls the Satan the god of this world. Satan can't create the fifth element, but he can trap souls. The Supper says that after Satan created animals and all that, Satan decided to create human beings in his own image. Adam and Eve were made by Satan. But before I go to that, to make the beings alive, he forces the fallen angels to those bodies. Now, are we waking up? Apart from the four angels of elements, these are the four trapped under the river Euphrates, which drying up, and they will be soon free. This will be very unfriendly meeting to those who follow this false god that deceived them. Okay, Eve cut it here. Okay, so I'm sure many of you want to finally know who wrote this Bible. So you heard about Enoch, the guy who didn't die but God took him to walk beside him. That's exactly him. This is why I also recommend the book of Enoch for everyone who wants to be free, awaken, return to heaven. Start with the Gnostic teachings, that's the first. Then the Last Supper. Then the reality of the rulers. And if you don't or cannot read, just focus on Jesus' teachings and you shall be like gods. The reality of the rulers. Our contest is not against flesh, blood, but against the authorities of the universe and the spirit of wickedness. Now, for me as a child, exactly, with this gift that God gave it to me, and this is why I went against all the priestess and I was rebellious to all churches. I will not change my mind. I am God, there is no other gods by me. And I already spoken about this, like, was God like gay? Like, he's God's son, where the fuck he come from and everything. And I've explained it in the part before. And some parts on my Facebook, it was father, mother, and the son. Real God is pure light, and it's called the One. So that is the pure light, what we see, and that is the God of the darkness. Now, I'm gonna read some quote. She established each of his offspring in conformity with its power after the pattern of the realms that are above, for by starting from the invisible world was invented. Basically, this means that Sophia brought some structure to the chaos. And Sophia, her name you find her in every church. It's just she was never spoken about. And she made the archons organize themselves in hierarchy and patterns that mimic the divine realms above. So since Sophia structured chaos based on divine realms, it means there will always be a crack in the illusion, and through this crack someone would emerge, someone no one can control. Material world is only a reflection. So the demiurge and the archons, the clan of Satan, see the reflection of the perfect realm in the waters and become totally obsessed with it, and they want it bad. But there is a problem because it's just a reflection that appear to them in the waters because of their weakness, since being beings that merely have souls cannot lay hold of those that have spirit, for they were born from below, which it was always also from above. Now, what is soul and what is spirit? Soul is like the kind of mind that it gives beings personality, emotions, desires, and allows them to think and feel. Spirit is the eternal, unchanging divine spark the essence. It's basically the transcendent part of that in us, all of us. Well, not in all of us, but it should be. That is inherently connected to the divine source of all reality. Waking up? Now, the rulers have bodies that are both female and males. Come and let us create a human that will be soil from the earth, earthly copy of divinity for form of humanity. Now in Genesis, the Bible says similar. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Ours, not one person, which is male and female, period. Now the humanity was initially designed to be weak material copies, empty shells to resemble the divine reflection. So they made Adam. They managed to give Adam soul, but Adam was just laying there, unmoving on the ground, and they were unable to make him rise because of their powerlessness. But then mysterious spirit comes down from the true realm. Adam afterwards, I'm quoting, Adam afterwards the spirit saw the man of soul on the ground. The spirit came forth, it descended and came to dwell in him. That man became a living soul, and the spirit called his name Adam, since he was found moving upon the ground. This is the moment where soul and spirit have merged. They removed the spirit from Adam and discovered it was in the form of divine spiritual woman. The text says, they opened his side, which was like a living woman, and they built up his side with some flesh in place of her, and Adam came to be only with soul. Adam woke up incomplete, totally disconnected from the spiritual knowledge. This divine woman was Eve, the goddess of life, and she was one who gave life to Adam in the first place. Eve didn't vanish. She returned and confronted him directly, waking him up, and Adam right away figures out that it was because of her that he had life. He says, that is written, it's you who gave me life. You will be called the mother of the living, for she's my mother. She's the physician and the woman, and she has gave a birth. Now the authorities came up to Adam, their Adam, when they saw his female partner speaking with him. They became excited of her and said, let us sow our seed in her. What actually is written? Eve finds them ridiculous and actually laughs in their face. She laughed at them for their foolishness and blindness. So the spiritual Eve leaves behind a fake version of herself, shadowy reflect on resembling herself, lower physical version. Now while Archon's being grows, getting with the material Eve, the spiritual Eve enters into the tree of knowledge. Now, when we talk about the nakedness, it's not about being naked as in a body. Adam and Eve weren't ashamed of physically naked. They were ashamed because of the tree made them see clearly that they lack spirituality. Now, from the Bible. Adam, where are you? For he did not understand what happened. Is that right? Now, nobody of you ever thought like, if God sees this and know everything, why was he looking for Adam? He didn't know where he was. I heard your voice and I was afraid because I was naked. The demiurge, the fake God, panics and accuses Adam, says, "Why did you hide? Unless it is because you have eaten from the tree I alone commanded you not to eat from." And this always bothered me. A common sense. Why God wouldn't want us to know what is good or what is bad? But that is a fucking common sense. But there's lots of people that don't know what common sense is. And in the Bible, God actually asked Adam, "Who told you you were naked?" So, have you ever wondered why you feel exhausted, distracted, like spiritually disconnected? Now, Adam and Eve's children, the powerful secret, and the stories obviously don't match in the Bible, etc., etc. Now I'm gonna try clear it out, but just a little bit because I've got here people to rip off. So, powerful secret about Adam's and Eve's children. So, Cain and Abel, according to the Gnostic text, Cain and Abel were offsprings of when the archons messed up with the material version of Eve. Cain and Abel represent broken, divided humanity. Now, later, when after the tree of knowledge, for eating the apple, actually Eve is getting rated for that they got the knowledge. Now the demiurge freaks out. He kicks them out of Eden, because they knew. And obviously Satan don't want people to know things. If they knew things, then that's it. This whole fucking world is over. Then when Adam and Eve left the Eden, the spiritual Eve comes back, and she's making a new community with Adam, like new humanity, and we only heard about them having another son, Seth, but they also had a daughter called Nora. Now I'm quoting, "They threw human beings into great distractions and into a life of oil so that human beings might be occupied by worldly affairs and might not have the opportunity of being devoted to the Holy Spirit, which is the ultimate key to the understanding of your life." Now, why God flooded the earth is not because of their sins. That sin was exactly that they start to realize they are also divine. So the text says, "Rulers took counsel one with another and said, 'Let us cause flood with our hands and obliterate all.'" Any of you who heard, read, or remember that Noah's first ark were burned? Yes or no? So it was exactly Nora that burned the ark with one breath. She is the fire. And when Seth and Nora, where Seth is representing the wisdom, the awakening, Nora is the fire. Nora actually she beat the archons and the God himself, means Satan. Now, Noah and Nora sounds similar, yes? Nora, that is a between basically Nora and Noah. There is that flooding, that is the fight between the fiery spirit versus the water of ignorance represented by blood. Noah is being associated with the flood, which is all about water, obedience and submission, and Nora, she is the fire rebellion. So when Noah's ark burned and he had to start again, the demiurge and archons are pissed off. The rulers went to meet her, to lead her astray. The supreme chief said to her, "Your mother Eve came to us and willingly surrendered to them." And Nora turned to them and said, "It is you who are the rulers of darkness. You are cursed. You did not know my mother. Instead, it was your own female that you knew. For I am not your descendant, rather it is from the world above that I come. The rulers obviously gone furious and with rage, saying to her, "You must serve us, as did also your mother Eve." But of course Nora says, "Fuck you," and she cried out to the Holy One, "Almighty Father of all, rescue me from the rulers and unrighteousness, and show and save me from their clutches at once." I need reading glasses. She didn't cry praying, she commanded boldly. What happens next? A great angel came down from heaven and said to her, "Why are you crying? Why did you act so boldly towards the Holy Spirit? Have you forgotten who you are?" And the text says, "The ruler of the unrighteousness had withdrawn from her because they realized that she has access to power infinitely, like greater than theirs." Something you all have also realized, some of you, about me, and now the person who was sending black magic towards me and then went back and asked to turn it all around in panic. Now, I don't know if you know, but this was more stupid than the first action you took in the first place. That asking for reverse, you just doubled everything on yourself. Now, Carl Jung once suggested that Gnostic myths are like vivid maps of the human psyche. He wrote that the Gnostic projected their subjective inner perception into a cosmogonic system and believed in the reality of its psychological figures. Basically, what was happening inside the mind and soul, and he told an epic story of gods and demons rulers to be literally aliens or spirits out there, that they are symbolic of something within us. What Jesus was teaching us anyway. The arrogant, ignorant, deceitful, envious, violent. This is exactly the worst aspects of humanity. Carl Jung called that the shadow selves. Each person has a shadow, unconscious part. Now, Adam and Eve, separated, distracted, and blind, are like our own worst tendencies. So keep us in a denial. Either we want it or we don't want it. They represent our inner opposites, like right and left part of the brain, which I'm gonna explain later, like inner intuition and wisdom. Now, to unite, you have to seek knowledge. This is what Jesus was saying. Seek the knowledge. Don't follow me, seek the knowledge. So obviously Jesus cannot be son of the God in the Bible, because the God in the Bible was just this me, I am the only God, I am so fucking jealous, tra la 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 la. And yes, and jealousy is probably one of the biggest sin and the shit that destroyed most of you. So souls united carry a spark from above out of the incorruptible light, which is awakened conscious. And I know a lot of people who try and still trying to awake their third eye. Don't. I advise you first seek knowledge before you ground yourself in hell forever, because maybe opening the third eye is possible through meditation and other things, but if you are rotten inside, that's fucked up. Now, some of you ask me why I'm juggling videos and information. First, because I fucking can, and the second thing is, you asking me who the fuck I think I am? Now, who the fuck are you? Same thing. Exactly, who the fuck are you? So, when you all thought you came after me, you're some whatever. Now, 90% of you can't even write or read English or in Polish. But let's stick to England, because this is your country. You think you can destroy someone and get away with it? I don't think so now. Anyway, before I teach you a lesson of who the fuck I am, I noticed something interesting. Apart from being spied and tra-la-la-la, the other night when I couldn't sleep and I was making for the first time notes on my phone, not in the writings, I wrote it as a huge note on a Facebook status, but I locked it so only I can see it. When I looked up my notes, it turns out that 47 people already saw it. Today I teach you all something about sensing, lies, hidden devices, mics and magneses, and about all homeless Polish people, how I knew everything at start. So I will go with everything from present backwards. And why I am juggling? Bible is juggled. That will actually make you open your minds more instead of me going from beginning. Now you all try to break me mentally, and I am taking joy showing you that while you actually with your actions can't keep up mentally yourself, that your brains are shitting right now. Now, anyway, the last homeless people that were still allowed near me, near my presence, were Artur and Seba, and exactly for the purpose to gather the rest evidence against them and what they did to Ula. Now let's forget until the next part how dumb you all are, especially committing crimes. But now I'm gonna explain you how Artista and Milo, who are my friends for years, sadly close, and them knowing me, they didn't click, so they could not warn you. Anyway, you guys give each other gossips about me, but you forgetting to warn people from my gift. So everything that happened, I let you. Now, you all play yourselves. I explain you something about humans, psychological facts that you don't need to be gifted or awakened by God to know these things. You only have to trust your intuition and act upon it. So, if you aren't smart and you don't pay attention to things, even having been gifted to see lies before they are spoken, if you aren't centered with yourself, if you don't trust yourself, that's important, there is nothing that I can help you with. Now, I mentioned before about the time my gift wasn't working and I had to separate from 100 people, literally, who is telling the truth. When everyone is giving me the same crap and pretending they care, including people I thought I will trust for life. So Artista and Milo, being close to me for years, they never lied to me before. And they were the easiest to appear as liars because their body language changed. But to decode this murder case and false friends, listen how smart I am, and you all must have heard it many times from different sources, something I will explain to you about people. Note this and apply. Be better human for yourself. That can actually save your lives. This is so basic and mind-blowing fact, and I told so many people, but now I am gonna to tell you about. So again, not everyone will understand what I am saying. Unless you don't respect yourself, there is no chance to be deceived by anything. Now, all ready to know what it is? Listen. That's it, is just listen. We people basically, we speak to each other every day. We say a lot of things, but the true fact is that nobody actually listens to what somebody says or whatever. And with spreading gossips, that's another part, because this part is deep. How actually gossip destroys someone else's life and those people around them, like the power of gossip, how it can affect and damage somebody's life. But truth always comes back at the end anyway. So how I separated these 100 people. I've mentioned you in the part before that I was talking a little bit about myself, so you also understand what's going on, how our situation in life are given to us for us to be awakened and to understand the true power that we are. I told you about the school I got kicked out to, OHP, and about that Miss Magda made us play in the theater. And I told you also, I will come back to this part, so now I am, when my friend who took part in this play called me, and he only just said that, do you remember the theater role that we played? It was about Trojan horse. And that enlightened me, because of course I remember what I did. I've recruited all the punished kids with myself to, on the day of the show when we were playing the act, to change one word. And it's not the words you guys think. Well, I've changed the word horse, but don't be having a naughty things. I've changed it to Titanic. And in the script that we have it turned out to a comedy. So I was like really fucking happy. I went to sleep, and the next day I had again all these Polish people that I know, my meant to be friends, and some other randoms with condolences, giving me their stories. They bombarded me with all sorts of things just to get me as far from the truth of discovering the whole murder. What the fuck is going on here? Oh my days, it's mind-blowing shit. And then I had Pakistani people, starting from Ozzy, who saved my life, and he brought new friends to my life, and I already knew this is his another setup. For me, on the beginning, my intuition, and I trust my intuition like nothing else. I trust it. It's just once. I don't have to listen to my intuition once. This is why I am smarter than many other people. The next day I told, well, my intuition told me that they both cooperating with each other, but I know these ones and these ones, I never saw them talking and everything. In fact, these two hate Pakis hate these ones, tra-la-la-la. So how could I prove to myself that they are all connected? And when Buster called and reminded me about what I did in the theater, I already knew what I'm gonna do the next day. So when I went to sleep, the next day I woke up very happy, waiting for this law coming. Are we caring? How are you today? Tra la la la. Did you know anything? No, or etc. And I gave to Pakistanis and to Polish the same sentence. Only, and this is why listening is very important. I didn't replace the word with another. I only changed it, the order, which it changed the meaning of the sentence. So I said exactly the same words to the Polish and to the Pakistani, just in a different sequence. The next day, I was just waiting for them to run. And what happened? They come back confused, because the sentence made these ones sure that certain things gonna happen, and for the other ones was like, no, it's like a maybe or whatever. So the next day what happened, they all come back confused. And some were boldly just asking straight, did you meant maybe or yes? And some other were trying to get into conversation with me to find out if it's a yes or it's a maybe, tra la la la. And I knew it then. All of you dead to me. Cut it straight away, everybody out of the whole equation. Now, this is why listening is really, really, really important. And another part where listening is important, where Moti was trying to play that he is against the father of my kids, he's the angel of my friends. He did not know about like sort of mind gifts. So first thing is, when he was giving me a lie, wanting something from me, And I will speak about that, unfortunately, because God doesn't let me stay silent. And to be honest, you don't fucking deserve my silence anyway. So when I was passing him the box of Cocodamos he exactly said in these words, I need it for my daughter. I already knew. I didn't need confirmations from other parts of wherever to know what the fuck is happening, and it did happen. So the way Was was speaking about Moti, and Moti about Was, why you guys were talking about each other to me about in the first place? That was just so dumbest shit that you guys didn't even realize that you are walking into my meadow with stinging nettles. And how I knew that that part of West Town, which was the father of my kids, and the part where the predator Amir is in my life. Obviously, I knew that they all cooperating with the police, but at the moment, at that time yet, I was not sure. I had no evidence that Amir started cooperating with the police also. And I would not expect that from him, because none of you know that I took the blame for dogs of him. Otherwise, he would have been straight back in jail. And with the shit that already he and other bitches, the host and Ozzy and those people that try to make me to become another prostitute, somebody that they can fucking rule over. It was this, when Was called me and he started saying to me things that he's hurting my kids just to trigger a fight from me and etc. He said something, and listening is very important. And Amir was in my house at this presence, and it was on a loudspeaker. Apart from that, I've got that recorded, all the stuff, everything I have. Don't worry, people, don't worry. So Was said something like this. Yeah, now tell Amir I am his daddy. And for people who knows Amir, he would even jump on his mother and start slandering and everything. He did not even move, hearing something spoken about himself. And then I had this conversation, and then of course he goes, oh, you need to call the police and let them know. But we'll get into this about the police, because this for police I need a few other sheets of this just to write what they did and how confident they were about this. And I don't give a fuck about you. I'm gonna use your names today. And Millie, I'm gonna play the recording when she's asking about PC Collins' number badge, when she's reading the shit. Yeah, Millie, where's my hard drive? And what about the burglary in my house? Did you forget you meant to do your job, or did you already quit your job because you know who you're working for? Then, but everything, which you guys don't know that I already knew, that this plan of murdering Ula and everything that started before the house happened, the firehouse happened, okay? But before I went to Poland with my children the second time, and this was exactly why I left to Poland, because I was not ready then yet to play with my kids. I needed to basically prepare them. I was preparing them from day one, because every house I was living in with my children was smashing, and yeah, fuck the notes, man. I don't need to have notes unless I'm quoting something, because I speak truth. So just whichever order I say, we will get to this. In Fig Tree, the last, fuck it, let's go from where? Let me explain you first what my image shows, and then we'll get to ripping the police one by one. Ishfaq, the bitches from Hope House, how this is all connected with all these organizations, the peoples that have authorities that meant to be protecting people, especially women, single mothers and children, that they are fucking human trafficking you, and how they playing you, how they making you turn to their item. So this is the galaxy, and it's also our, of course, head, and that is a small representing of gaming, of the Monopoly. I forgot the start, birth, and the other station. But what I want you to think of this is like the bones of your back before it connects with the head, with the brain. So we're gonna have the left side brain, which is the wisdom, and where you wanna go out? Now here, what it grows in us since we're children, and about the fourth generation, how that works, and so from our roots, how your grandparents were treating your mothers, fathers, and that, how they treating us, if we're breaking in the cycle or no. Of course, okay, I was born with the gift, I knew it from day one, that I have to, no matter how I was sometimes angry, and I had normal physical human emotions, I had to overcome them, etc. Just like Jesus also. So from our roots, so from abuse, physical, mental, what we are told to how behave on the table, everything's really, small things really matter, and how deep are your roots in how you were treated, what you were told, on what you learn in school or from your religion is exactly the tree that you have become. I've got my tree of life, and this is my possession of righteousness. Now, here is the Last Supper, and about that I'm gonna talk also in a minute. But there's Mary and Jesus, a couple. Most of the disciples were dicks, and this is why there is a problem with the Bible, because they were also jealous that Jesus getting more laid than them. And it is actually written somewhere here that Jesus loved her more than his disciples, and he often kissed her on the mouth. Here I've got some, for past 100 years we have been witnessing many wars. We were taught on the history lessons about wars and everything, tra-la-la-la. And what I also wanted to do, but I was working on something else and fighting for my life, so I didn't. I wanted to write, I will write for past 100 years all the viruses, that illnesses from swan flu, pigeon flu, fuck knows what flu. Now we've got school, 2 + 2, maybe actually I'm gonna take the camera and show you guys in that way. So 2 + 2 is 5. Obviously what school tell you, it must be like that. We were told in Poland in school that if you don't learn, you're gonna be digging, kurwa, holes for buildings, etc. This is actually one funny story I got to tell you, because one of my friends, as well from this OHP, one of the teachers used to swear and shout on him like, oh, what, you're gonna be just a digger guy, you're so whatever stupid. And the hilarious thing is he bought himself the machines that actually digs, and a few years ago when I was in Poland, we were laughing because he was digging her driveway, because I did not give that bitch any discount, like he was laughing in her face, very successful man and everything. We will get to that part that education is not really necessary for your life. Now we go Pakistan. I advise Pakistani people, Muslim people, to follow Nabil Qureshi, very, very intelligent man. He will tell you your religion is fucked if you don't want to listen to me. So Pakistan came from, they are all India people that went over the mountains, decide to be different country, different religion. Pakistan is younger than Auschwitz, about 11 years. There's a funny, interesting fact written about Pakistanis that when they began, 14 August 1947, Pakistan's independence, whatever, 78 years old, independence they gained from British monarchy, Queen Elizabeth. She was linked to the Prophet Muhammad through the 14th century. She was related through medieval descendant of the Prophet from Seville. And Pakistan is described begging has transformed into perfection rather than a necessity, with 25 million out of 200 million people being professional beggars. And isn't that true, Pakistani people? Now, of course, religion of love, bomb everything. And we have the genealogical tree of Sarah, which was the first wife of Abraham, but she could not wait for the promise that God gave it to her, the promised child. So though fulfilled the promise, the slave Hagar, she bore Abraham a child, which was Ishmael. My cat spilled something, but it's okay, we're gonna fix it. Ishmael, from that comes Arab nation, then Muhammad and Islam, and then from Isaac came Jesus, Jewish people, Jesus, Christianity, Judaism, yeah? Paki is going all around the love story, whatever, and begging, and when their women will hear, that's it, they're not your women anymore. And of course, and I told you the few little things as a gift I have for Muslim women, that whatever they been told and everything, this is just bullshit. Now, the vision of charity, and that is also... most of all charities in the whole world, that is just a big movie, so that's a vision of the tape going into the camera and money are coming out. But in Peterborough, there is actually a charity named Children of Adam, and people from this organization are taking a big key part in what I am exposing, what God asked me to expose. And on this train tracks, we've got Damian Doroshinsky, that there is a lot of evidence going against Pakistani people who beat the fuck out of him because he witnessed something they did not want to come out, and they put him on the train tracks. Now the train track guy who was driving the train, he said clearly this guy did not want to suicide. I could see clearly he wants to get up, but his bones he was broken, and I could not stop the train. When the attacks started coming towards me, some weak people mentally that are part in this gang stalking and whatever against me, they have also spoken some true, and they said that since I started speaking about this publicly, one of the guy wanted to suicide. Now he become a motivational speaker. I don't know for how long. Now we've got here the corrupted police. Ooh, and I actually honestly will say I don't know if there is a one fucking single police officer in whole Cambridgeshire that is not corrupted, because starting with, and you guys gonna be blown away with how much shit I've got against police, how much evidence, how much they have against themselves. And I called them as well many times, and I told the main guy that sits on the chair, Mr. Nick Dean, that you are not leaving to retirement in 1-2 months with your face as a policeman. Then we have a Sergeant Wood, PC Collins, PC Todd, James Malinowski, Cashman Angus, Stacey Neve, Peter Maiden, the guy that battered my dog, killed him. Then we have PC Coke, PC Smith, Sergeant Wood, yeah, that's there. Bellamy Braze Yasmin, that's Asian woman related, she's dealing with the rapes. We're gonna go blow your mind into it. Then we have Kimberly Whelan, that is a police that she meant to be dealing with the complaints, etc. She recently messaged me, emailed me, when all this shit, again, I was like talking about police, and she messaged me, that I can make a complaint, tralala, she'll take me through. And my reply to her was, you are in the top rank of the people I'm gonna destroy for corruption. Then we've we've got, I don't know how to say this, this Elise or whatever. Whoa, Basingdale. I think you should leave the country by now. Then we've got the Kevin Paul, PC Briggs, Sergeant, something, whatever your name is, Kyle Wright, PC Jacobs, PC Jake Weldon, Megan Gwynn, Hayley Turner, PC Sears, PC Manton, Bennett James, Tara Smith, Neve Starr, Lydia Halliday, Martina Radomska, Melero Natal Petney. And I stopped writing the names here because now we've got to write here PC Crown, I mean Detective Crown, Millie, Hermaids, and all these recent from the videos and other connections that I have with them. That list is has to go around. I was already joking about that it's gonna become a frame, so you guys framed yourself. And that is the image of the police officers, my icon. So being a police officer, then taking a little bribe from Muslim people, and this is why and what for. These are penguins. In Poland we call police officers dogs, but in England they call them penguins. So we have here a resemblance of the penguins, which for me was Agent Lee, about snitches and those people that working with the police. I've got here a huge list of Polish people, but there are missing about 30, 40, and that are people that helped to murder Urla, that supposed to murder me, but we have a huge cemetery of people. And this is the Eastern European Sports Center, which I have a big history as well. They connected to that. Later on, I'm gonna teach you something about Auschwitz, and that originally the star of Jewish. It was originally invented by Muslims. Of course, Mansfield, you know what this is. Mansfield Club, this is a Pakistani/Muslim club, which is open 24 hours. I used to work there. That's how I got to know a lot of Muslims, a lot of their secrets. They willingly gave it to me, hoping they'll get something else. But like Eve, I just laughed them off, and I did something that they know what I did. Now they know, now they're shitting, yes. But I was warning you, everything you're telling me I'm gonna use against you and liberate your women from you. And let me get you guys clear, when they say that their mothers are the most important in their lives, is fucking lying crap as well. God is amazing, the universe is amazing. I've got notification on email that I am sharing location with someone indefinitely, and that is Urszula Stankiewicz, which doesn't even have a phone or anything with her. I know Ula is with me all the time, Azam is with me. This is the club that is in Peterborough, that Cliff Roll runs. I used to work there as a security officer, and the reason why I started working there as a security officer, it was just to and they did not know, they just thought I was working there because I needed the money. That was not the case. When I started Youngsters Unity, where all this club began, with Mr. Ishfaq, then A2B was, and all that, Nigel, Mohammed, yeah, most of the victims that were coming there were women that been weirdly waking up. Obviously they were spiked and getting humiliations, but they were peacefully to the club. All they remember, they also remember securities and everything. Well, I took heavy beating for my heroic actions as well in there, and it's a very funny story because the black lady that is involved in the dog case also, she is the part of the club as well. So the security, I'm gonna go straight and honest, basically security cooperates with the police. They picking up the vulnerable girls, and I used to throw some girls around out of the club. I used to ban them because they were coming Friday, Saturday, the same dress, the same dirty fucking trainers, and I was just sending them home. I was telling them, you're banned. Many of them cried. My reason from banning them was because I'm a mother and I knew what's gonna happen, that the weakest one, obviously the predators, were choosing for their next prostitution victims. And this used to be 42 club, which is run by Albanians. That was opposite the other side of the road. And that is the time when my children didn't come back. Of course, I received a letter from the court that this house is gonna go on fire and all this bullshit happening around Ula. Here is the last time I saw Ula. So basically it's outside the club. This is where I just came out, and that is involving Ula's husband. He was there. There was people that wanted to catch him for the drugs he owns. And when I come out, the car come from here. Okay, Ozzy kidnapped me, shaking. We left. Behind that, when I used to come out for cigarettes with one of my security friends when I was working there, I spotted Pakistanis with the police officer swapping bags, giving each other blowjobs. Now, I've got a gift for you, Albanian people, because trying to totally decode the police, and of course they're gonna find out now that what is snitch. To decode how police is working and how come all of these criminals are not working, and the police offered me if I would like to give them some information. If I give them good information, maybe also I will get paid. But I wanted to see how the system's working and why they not arresting the father of my children and other people, which is pissing me off till today, that some good drug dealers, because I've got nothing against drug dealers, but some good drug dealers, they go to jail, and these motherfuckers, they still walking free and destroying the rest of women and children. We'll get in details how they do and everything, how they do. This is, of course, court. I can't wait to destroy you all. And the court case that I have, but anyway, all of these acts and a few others, I'm gonna write this: homicide, murder, conspiration, police misconduct, and gross human rights, JCIO is court wrongdoing. We got domestic abusing, neglecting children, hacking, public sharing, something, can't read it, but is under the act and is my notes. Obviously, I will speak about everything in details. False allegations, perjury, and I've covered this because I've got some stronger evidence. For everything what I am saying to you guys, of course I have evidence of not only one. And when you hear what police and how actually they were, all my days, they shoot themselves in the fucking forehead. Because their ignorance and arrogance and thinking they have some kind of power, and by coming and telling me that you're just Polish, you fucking will get nothing and tralala, when we talking about serious crimes, and I'm gonna tell you guys, and this is gonna be then finish to Ula's murder case, because police is involved in that as well. All that pedophilia, murdering women and tralalala. Now this is my cemetery of people that got murdered and are involved in this whole story. So we've got Denis Kaliskus, I don't know if you remember him, I know a lot. Then we've got two Monikas, Monika Piaseczny, Monika Andrzejewska, then we got Daszka, Saleta, Piecia. What is amazing also, and I mentioned it before, that somebody close to me, when we were carrying his body to the cemetery, I knew I will meet the murderers from that Spain situation somewhere in the world, in England. I wrote them as well. Then we've got some Pakistani females that were into this, and Daszka. I need to add here other people. Well, they split it around the picture, so I did not move them yet into the cemetery that I am making. Here I'm gonna write some things that you're not allowed to do in court. So if you're a mother and if you fighting for your kids and something is going wrong, whatever, they tell you you cannot cry. You're not allowed emotions. If you cry, judge won't want to listen to you. And I've actually heard from judge saying to me, "Shut up, fuck off." Oh, but I got rid of you. at first. Only the problem is that getting rid of a judge, corrupted judge from court, it's not like he's fucking gone. He's just getting a different place to go and be judged there. Now, this is council, bag of shit, plenty of flies, and your day of judgment. So how these women are cooperating and how all this system and that shit is merged with each other, how they carefully target women, how they control how women and children will live, what they scare them with, and everything. We'll get to that. Now, this is my snakes and ladder, the addresses that I lived in, like my journey. Well, I actually moved over 60, nearly 70 times. With children about 15, 20 times, because was smashing every house me and children were living in. So I become homeless, and that I come back on my knees with kids, but that wasn't working out. Then Amanda from Kafkas, oh, you're finished on a different level. And I tell you, so then I got a permission during the COVID to go with my children to Poland, because when used to take the children on the weekend. Apart from that, I had to pay the father of my kids to look after his own kids. And he was on a mood swings, because if one of the bitches meant to be my friend snitched that I went to work or something, he dropped my children outside my house, and they were little, and police was there as well. He literally left them in the car park when I was security in Cambridge on one event, and he was like, yeah, mother should be always at home. So police caught was, but we will talk about that, what police did, what they knew, what they see, what they catch red-handed, and you fucking thought you can threat me and keep me silent? Well, we're finishing it today anyway. Now this is a picture of church, which is an entry from Pussy, but all women were actually wiped out from the history of the church, and what kind of whatever bullshit is in there, I will get to you in details. But yes, of course, pedophilia, schools, council, Hope House, all these people sadly cooperating with each other, with police, with church, they all cooperating with each other, yeah? And I don't give a fuck about any of you. If you have army, come and try me. Mr. Ishfaq, he again now been selected for councillor. I promise you, not for long. And today I'm gonna give 2-3 informations that God asked me to say, and I don't think you're gonna survive in your own family. Because from Polish people, I have lots of evidence that during the COVID times, one of, I don't know, it was your sister or it was sister of your wife that wanted to come out with some shit against you, and you have silenced her through the same poison that I was fed, and few other people were silenced as well. Here, and what is funny, police knows about it and everything. This is why I fucking knew. And before even I got into this situation, I showed you in the previous parts that years before, because I wanted to save these women, and that is like, these blocks are representing few houses, yeah? And that women are there forced to prostitution, there's domestic violence going on, basically the same thing like Pakis walked into Ula's house and they said, we're not leaving. We'll look after your children, you go do our job. And for a starter now, Ula never took coke, you motherfuckers. Try to make her look like she owes you some money. But we'll get to details, how Damien is your dog, then he was my dog, how he stole all the cocaine that was sponsoring all the children's activities and everything. And yes, you police hated me from there, because even though people were giving you evidence that, because the reason why I even started to deal with coke and how I've met Ula, because her husband meant to be my driver. I took him from Ozzy. He was Ozzy's dog, but I was feeling sorry for this Polish man that they treat him like a dog. So I took him. Then Ozzy said, "You're gonna cry," and bring him on the lead back. But I did not have to. I just had to punch him in the fucking face. Mullah ran away to Pakistan. How brave of you, Mullah. What's happening to your children? So, yeah, let's carry on. Blue is domestic violence, turquoise is the modern slavery. This is House of Ula. And the whole story of Ula's murder will blow your mind, because even the Mother Nature with the show that there's no fucking chance that she could have died in the fire. But anyway, Ula was alive, even though they poured on Ula that flaming for barbecue, which totally like sinked in her arm and a piece of leg. She was extremely beaten up and she was raped by, as far as I remember, the police officer asked me if my friend was a prostitute. No, she was not. They were trying to make her to prostitute. They were raping her. And I tell you something else. Ula did had lovely friends, which after she passed away, from different countries, from different areas of England, they have sent me evidence that Ula was sending to them originally. So, yeah, I've become homeless on my own wish, but what happened here in that last house before I've gone homeless, Wellborn, Motti, and why the whole houses that I lived in had electrical problem, we will get to that. Now, what God wants me to, did I explain all the icons? Yes, this track is because one of the person that was taking part in Ula's murdering, he drives trucks, basically, Poland, England, around the England as well. And Smart Cabs Taxi Spalding, that's the company of the father of my children. And here, of course, because from these people and why you are so low and why I actually don't respect men's. Well, none of you actually, I hardly actually met a true man in my whole life. And it's not about that I've been working hard from in scrapyards since I was child and in the building work, and I know I've got more professions in my hand and I ain't lazy like a man. It's not even about that, but it's not knowing DIY to become a man. It's not, of course. And here we're gonna be some physics and chemical, like what makes you fucking mental and thinking that just having a dick makes you a man. Because funny thing is, and yeah, that you guys can't even use your dick. Oh, I'm gonna rip you all to shreds. And yeah, starting with that many Muslim guys just think, or they asking the girl, do you want my dick? So what we gonna go to here now? To the fucking truth about the police. Let me place the camera back where it was. I'm vaping. But yeah. Satan, if you could just take sugar out of my diet as well, it would be perfect. All together with my addictions. The Youngsters Unity is the logo of, there's a mirror behind, I don't want to drop it. It is a logo of the organization that I made for youth with pathological backgrounds and to support single mothers go back to work. And I've opened in Peterborough, and I was used as well to help to open another community center. But what is fascinating, so many fucking community centers in Peterborough, but none of them actually takes children, gives children activities to do or support children growth or their hobbies, and gives mothers some free time to even look for work if some single mother would want to look for work. And I actually had my impact in from job center become a different kind of benefit, because what was pissing me off as a single mother, I've never claimed alimony, even though was is draining me from alimony. Then I get £300 a month only, and I still have to buy things for my kids. Now I need to buy them another shoes because yeah, if you can see the state of the shoes of my son that he's supposed to be wearing fillings, because he's bodybuilder, he needs to have a solid quality shoes. And the funny thing is, when I saw these shoes, the next day, of my 300, I bought one and another son shoes. Like me, I don't mind eating from homeless vouchers and everything. I will now invest the little money that I will get again into my sons, because I bought them new shoes, and I bought them at trainers. But the one, like, well, this is one of the pairs. I messed up with the size, so now I'm wearing. Then I had to buy another pair for my son, and I took those sons from them when I changed the shoes, so they went in the new shoes, happy to school and everything. I come home and I messaged to us like, does Amil have like the right shoes for himself? Like, does he have the feelings? He's got the best ones. So I sent him the pictures, really. But this is going way big deeper, and Amanda, I'm gonna strip you from everything, because this is exactly the reasons. You as a social worker, you allowed me, when all this shit was going on and it was causing me troubles with kids, and I could afford 2 children without fucking taking alimony from you, and you wouldn't even give a penny. I had to sell all my gold to do my son's teeth, which you, after you took them, you didn't take them to dentist whatsoever. And the reason why I was allowed to go to Poland during the COVID, because people couldn't see with each other anyway. And once when he was taking our children for the weekend, he was leaving them with random people. And on the one weekend, which I didn't realize, because I did not expect that my son, who has a heart problem, and now he's drinking energy drink, now you should be the father. Stop looking for hoes and amphetamine, just look after the kids. You meant to be the daddy. You took big responsibility of yourself. So luckily as well, I seen once, I didn't want to go to town, but God pushed me go to town, and I see a school trip. And from far I can see that the only boy that's shaking and doesn't have a jacket is exactly my son. He's not even, all this time he has the kids, apart from paying alimony. If I want my children to look decent and have decent things, I have to pay for it. What are you spending your money on? You taking benefits as a single father, you work 12 hours a day, you help with drug selling, and you live in your parents' house. What are you fucking paying for that you cannot afford to buy anything for the kids? And when the kids were with me, you were kicking my door. You did not want them, because for him to take him, not enough that I had to pay him, I have to give him a PlayStation so the kids can have something to do. But yeah, anyway, so I did not realize that on that when Michael had the heart appointment, it was on Saturday. So I've messaged quickly when I realized that, fuck, today is the day, it's Saturday. When I messaged to us about that, he goes, yeah, fuck you. It's mother responsibility to take child on a doctor's appointment. And apart from that, the police exactly knew that should be in jail. They caught him red-handed doing a crap, you people, you will never believe. And a lot of people struggling to understand why I am still alive, because apart from the attempts of murdering me, the amount of crap they did to me mentally and to my children, people say like that normal people wouldn't survive. What is normal? I am normal. I am the mother that will not quit this fight. I went to Poland, whatever, and when I went to Poland, I left the house to be looked after, and not even 2 weeks later, Motis agencies, they flew, and at that time I had all brand new furniture coming from Poland. I have still receipts, and the neighbors gave me videos how you guys still in the boxes chucking my shit. Where is Amil fish tank and all the fishes that fucking cost me over $1,000 to give him that fish tank? You all will replace everything. And then I'm getting a call from police that I've kidnapped my kids, even though I have permission from from Kafkas, and I've made 2 days of video that Wasim meant to spend with kids before we're gonna go for that 1 year to Poland, so I can privately take children for the heart scans, sort out Amil weight, metabolical problem with the feet and everything, and for everything I was paying. You did not give me a fucking penny. Even when I did not have money and Mikhail was crying on the dentist chair, you told me, what, sell your last gold. Miss my earrings. Yeah. Where we're going to? On the police now, let's go to Mr. Ishfaq. So when I opened the community council, who's supposed to help me at least with tables and chairs for the community that I've created for the children, you motherfuckers gave me the most evidence, and this is why there was a little bit shaking over the frauding with the grants that are taken for kids, and still like you people complain, oh, but England is broken, England is like that. Get up and do something fucking that your children can use these places that these people took money on. They take funds for £250,000. Then they ask their family and friends' children. They come to the building for 5 minutes. They taking some pictures, saying as evidence. They keep the money to themselves, and your children still going around the streets taking drugs. And yes, my own friends said, because that is what I was saying. I was frustrated that from as a working mother, I had to pull out £8 from my own pocket to be able to afford the nanny. And with nannies is like this, that they come and they just sit in your fucking house. They don't do any work, and they're not making sure that your kids are fed and everything. And yeah, so a woman, not enough that she's working and she's paying for the nanny, then she's coming home and she has to do a triple fucking job. And sometimes it was really late, and it takes frustration that your children have not ate anything, tra la 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 la. So I had to add £8 from my normal wage to afford a nanny, travel, and all this bullshit. This doesn't calculate. So this is why most people, and that's how I disrespect many guys, because for you people it's more easier to sit as a family on benefits, instead go and work. Because if you meant to be daddy or a father, if you miss a day of work or something and you lose the job, then it's gonna take time before you, for example, get money. But living off benefits is always guaranteed to have all the same. That's why so many relationships is fucked up. You don't know who's a woman, who's a man, who's actually drink, who smokes weed, who takes fuck knows who, and tra la la la. So when I created this as a solution, it wasn't the aim. And I was telling the people when I was creating, when I've made beautiful plays, the children had their everything for free. And yes, I started shifting cocaine because not enough that I could afford. I could afford basically to pay for all of these children. I've been challenging city council that me as a one Polish woman can create something that they should do from the money that they're getting. But Ursula's husband stolen the coke, stolen my car, and this is another funny interest about you police. Why didn't you come back to me about the car? The car was mine. But obviously, Damien is your dog, just like Ozzy is your dog, and many other people are your dogs, and that's why they never get their justice. My friends, even though their children had everything for free in there, the jealousy was eating them alive. So they start reporting me to the police that I am a drug dealer, tra la 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 la, and the police officer came and he said to me this, and I said to him, yes, I am. But take me to court. I never took penny for myself. All of the money from coke I spent on all of the children's for them to have free activities. And he goes, you know what, good on you. He shook my hand and he goes, just be careful, because your own friends calling police every day, and they even sending pictures of you smoking weed. And that's the funny part, where the mem came, where Iram, as a coincidence, walking past my house when I am coming back with children from school, and like going into conversation with me, yap, you people think I'm stupid. I already knew she's a setup, and she wanted to help me with this. She was originally working for Mr. Ishfaq, who owns most of the preschools in Poland, in Peterborough. And that is a big trigger now for you people. Well, let's hope, well, I don't hope, I know these people going in jail soon, and him cooperating with Mr. Nick Dean and having his links in the police and family in the police is not going to save you. And exactly when you people stripped me from everything, and why I also created Youngsters Unity, it was just to give my children more time to have their childhood. So that all kids can pray together. So at the same time, I can help other women that supposedly when this shit happened, because I've done so much shit for people and I never took money, and I told them all that when this day come, because I knew, and now you all knew that I knew this day is gonna come, that you gonna stand be fucking side me. And what you did, you took more money, or you even suck a dick just to destroy me, because you did not have balls to raise your own children the way I raised them all. Iram, the man. So, Iram, she sniffs coke. I was not sniffing whatever. I just smoked weed. During the time when the children were living with me, my happy 12 years of my life, I only had a little bit of weed. And yes, Iram, 30 grams of coke, maybe Eve, you want something. She's a Muslim woman, and she said to me then as well like this, Eve, you're stupid, you should just become Muslim, because you are overworked with children, and when you walk tired, you look sometimes like crap. And me, I can sniff, blaze all night, go even on a party, and then in the morning, I wear my hijab, people even feel sorry for me. About Muslim women, we'll get to that. So she worked for Mr. Ishfaq, and Mr. Ishfaq wrote to me before she actually appeared, and he wanted a meeting with me. But I already, because I can see archons, demons, people, and everything from afar, I don't have to sit in front of anybody or thingy. I just have my knowledge. Yes, God gave me many gifts. So when he messaged me, I wrote to him, if you give me 3 answers about your religion, I will see you on a meeting. But he could not, even though the guy could actually Google it, but the facts that, and then the questions that I asked him, it would offend him and his religion and culture, and that was the whole point. So he just fucks off. Then Iran was coming in, tralala, and I had on one Sunday I decided to not to sit with children at home, because I was looking after my friends' children as well, and I was living in a small flat, so I decided to take them to Youngsters Unity. And there was already waiting car with Vakar, the owner of A2B taxi. And I am just actually thinking, because my visions recently when God was saying 3-letter agency, and I clicked, it may be A2B or Oak. So it's one of you, but still you all involved in this in the same way. So he with his friends, seeing me walking with the children to Youngsters Unity, start giving me crap and everything. Like he actually, because when I wanted to close the door, so this drunk, drugged up Asians, Muslim religion of love doesn't give, because they were attacking me, like going abusively and everything, because their aim was to make me look vulnerable to have that community center in that place. And I already knew, and then they smashed the alarm, then the police was involved, la 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 la. This is not the end. And then Iram comes and she goes, Eve, why don't you just stay home with kids and let me run all of this for you, and you're just gonna be getting money? No. And the funny fact is that I've actually never went back to Youngsters Unity when Nigel owes me 25 grand. And I still got this because Nigel, in that building where I've made my community center, under it there is a big hole, and they ripped the ceiling without permission from council, so they could not proceed to build it, no matter how much money this guy had. But seeing that influence that I have and the contacts with the church, etc., he asked me if I get him the permission, he will give me 25 grand, and I meant to get from Mohammed 10,000 pounds. And this is funny because Mohammed now lives in the thingy, all of this and all of the people, and some people I've met randomly, then I've met them later, they connect me again to all of you, and you guys had to face me again. So, I've got them the permission was on me, and it was with the specific key points while you could have this place, But when they didn't pay me, I was homeless with my children, which was their people anyway. So I thought, fuck this. I focused on my children. I left this because when Nigel said to me and how they all were speaking to me, and I knew it from day one, and I also said in the parts before that people seeing me as the easiest person to use because I'm so devoted mother to all children. I care about all. I will just drop everything just to save somebody's child. But I focused on my own children, and then I managed to have a home, and I just stayed home with children. I knew this day Nigel and Mohammed will come back. So everything that I've made this beautiful place where I had even a double champion of Kizumba coming, I had different other activities in there, and I've made a nursery for children for free, so single mother can perhaps go and look for work, so she can come and leave the child integrating with other children, and she can get some free time and possibly go get a job. Because for a single mother, like I wanted to be a working, because I'm an ambitious person and working, not just living on benefits like the father of my kids would just sit on benefits. It was impossible because nobody would look after my kids, and I mentioned before that I had really good bosses before as well, because they allowed me even to bring my children. My children know everything about work, like how to work and everything, because they were allowing me to bring my children to work, so then I can be making normal money. I knew the struggle, how it is to be a single mother, ambitious mother, because some of them, and this is funny because and we're getting to the key point of the police, but when it comes down to social services, Amanda, being on my side before, and the things she wrote and she said about the father of my kids, that you go to Poland, you save their children, like this guy is just kurwa kukus. Because what was used to do, when he used to take children from me, he was returning them or without jacket or without shoes, or he didn't return the PlayStation. You wanted to be a single mother, then buy it again. And even now you still don't buy nothing for them. But yeah, and how you destroy their mental health. And this past 3 years that will never be returned to me as a mother and in their childhood. So Amanda, a social worker, which is an alcoholic, and was, because these people even connected to each other to make sure that they trap me, and because I am extremely smart, thank you, the light of God, they could not do me. So they were snitching on each other in the meanwhile, yes? And was goes, yeah, wait till Amanda rings you and she have a go at you that you are drinking. And at that moment, I was temporarily helping somebody with a building work, because I am the best builder and I can do fucking magic trick reforming houses. And I was awaiting her call, so I bought myself a small Jack Daniels and I was waiting for the video call with her. When she rings me, I've got that recorded as well. Miss Milewska, I've heard that you are a drinker. I've opened the whiskey. Yeah, so what? First of all, she should be helping me and my children to have a contact. Second thing is, if a woman is separated from children for any reason, if it's her fault or not, she's supposed to be getting mental health. Help. I luckily never had a depression, and my children also should be getting a mental help. Forget the father that is actually extremely mentally ill and everything and all the signs, and this is an unusual fucking situation. And I go to Amanda free. I've not been drinking for 14 years. Now, I don't have my children. I don't have any other children around me. I don't have a sibling or an elderly that I have to look after at home. I don't even have a pet, because at this time my cat were still in Poland before I brought them over. Why can't I have a fucking drink? Who the fuck are you, alcoholic, to tell me to stop drinking? And then she felt that she is finished and she slipped out and she's telling me about court case about my children, because that's the thing. I never ever even received a letter from court that I have a court case upcoming, or even with the resolutions. I only received one letter, which was straight away after the weekend when I gave my children on Eid to Was, and the children were kidnapped. But he come to Poland, we all came, and I was visiting anyway, and what, kurwa, this is too much. This is why I know that I have to write so much and put this on the tape. Because when the first time I went to Poland, and I came to visit for Amil's birthday, and also because it was Eid, Wasim kidnapped one. Well, he took both of the boys and said, "Oh, you're not having them back." I started going big cuckoos then, and I was more feisty, but I knew where this is all going anyway. So he said to me, well, I knew what he wants from me anyway. So when I hung up from him, I was like, ah! And then I called him back and I said, I will go on a date with you. And he was already like, ready. So yeah, we can go to cinema together. And then he returned one boy to me. He separated the two brothers. Do you know fucking what happened to them then? I still got video of Mikhail suffering, of what Amil was writing online, that he wants to suicide. After he come back from his father's house, when I got him back, he cut his face, and I goes to him, what did you do? He goes, I am afraid you're gonna send me to school and that you're gonna kidnap me again. And this is the reason why we went to Poland again. My sons, they remember everything. And what did you say was? Kneeling and writing with Monica, where I already knew when you mentioned Ula, where this is going to. I swear, boys, I will never ever try separate you from your mother again. But that gap, what happened then, Darala? The police, how many times you laughed at me, how you totally fucking disrespected the health of my sons. This is so fucking deep. I don't give a shit about any of you, and I am telling you, even army of people won't fucking help you, or hitmans. You will not come out of this, but I will come out unscathed. You tried to fucking burn me, and that day after the weekend, the only letter I received, it was that this house I am currently staying in will 100% go on fire. You can fucking burn me. I am the fire. Bastards. You know nobody. So, let's carry on. What we've got on police, I've got bear shit on police. And I tell you that they took their pleasure on trying to destroy me mentally, not knowing yet then that I will destroy you. Don't fuck with children of God. That's for a starter. So apart from that, I've got you guys recorded. And I know you've gone smarter and broke into my phones, and while sometimes I was trying to upload something on YouTube, it was already getting deleted and blocked off and tra la 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 la. And how many times I called the switchboard and how many police officers seen. And we'll get to Ula's murder and how Mr. Ishbak and all of this and Daniel's death, how it's connected, and the Victory House, and one of my ex-bosses from Windows, Adrian, are full of crap. Oh, this is going way deeper to the human trafficking, raping, and abusing children. And yes, to those Pakistani families with disabled children that I know that you're using those girls for prostitution, I'm coming after you as well. Do you all people think after what you did to me that I give a shit? My reputation always gonna be unscathed because truth always win. The minute I mention certain things, you're fucked in your own area, because people, first of all, I've got people from elderlies, because I've always volunteered around elderly people, and there's so many people that love me in this town. And I warned you, police, how many times I told you that this day will come, and you all were like, or this, or trying to bully me, or giving me false information, but they not even were even trying. They were just saying to me, so what, so what, so what? What are you gonna fucking do? Or they were coming, like, because yeah, I did call them a few times. Let's get to the part. Do you know what confident means in Poland? Confident in Poland means snitch. And confident in England obviously means the person who is sure of himself. Now I am both. So the reason why I even first time called for the police, when everything started after I left at Youngsters Unity and I started peacefully living at my house before Ozzy appeared and set me up on Amir, then the dog case and you guys don't remember me. But I was telling you, before even Youngsters Unity started, because my English is so well and because I am so eager in saving children, and you guys been mistreating other Polish women, but not only Polish women. When an English girl was telling me like, no, police didn't help me, they actually bully me, or they doing this, or they doing that, and I was like, it's not that I didn't believe you fully, but nobody would believe you. If I didn't have everything recorded and all these witnesses and everything, nobody would never, I wouldn't believe myself that this all actually fucking happened. And I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about children. What police and what this all fucking organization, how they do with children. And this is why God sent me here to expose all of the corruption. Now, all of you police, you don't remember me, but I was coming with these women you've mistreated, or to help some as a translator before, or as a backup for that English girl, just to see like they actually really fucking bullying her instead of helping her. So a woman that is a victim of domestic violence in England, she is the best product for the next prostitute or a drug dealer, or for her house to be the, like they call it, cuckoo wing house, where Asians love to live and to rob them and everything and make them weaken and everything. So why I called the police in the first place myself, it was because was breaking up, smashing my houses. My neighbors used to call for police and everything, but I was too proud. And then Wasim suggested himself, you know, like if you never call the police, then you looking like unstable mother, that I don't do nothing to protect myself. And I already knew that they want me to. So, are you guys getting now where I'm going with this? That this didn't started when Ula died. This started 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, as well as being a part of the church that gave me the permission for the building of that hall, that you broke all the law. Because first of all, the papers were on me. The second thing is you're not meant to allow in the building more than 100 people. And how many parties, huge parties were there later. Yeah, trust me. And the fun thing is how badly the guy from my windows wanted to get me into the crap, that he offered me to start building my finances, to start selling weed for you, Nigel. So we got all these links to all your grows, Nottingham, tra la 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 la. I've got it all, and most of the information as well, and the links of what happened and how it happened, I have, because Mr. Ishfaq, female family members were, and maybe still are, some of them, carers for elderly. And some of those elderly women, they loved the carers. They loved your wife. This is why they told me, and I wrote it to the police exactly what you did to your own wife, just to be sure that you've got that daughter or some other family members in the police, and that nothing is. Have they told you that I wrote that to them in the email? They must have buddies. So yeah, and there is a lot of Polish people, Mr. Ishfaq, that they want justice, not only for this guy, but for, I don't know, your sister or your wife's sister that died in COVID, miracle, in a strange, for a strange reason. Of course it was COVID, but Polish people have evidence and they will not give up. And murder cases never go out of date. that they want justice because she was a very lovely woman and because she wanted to expose you of the things that you are doing and to stop you from becoming the governor. You got rid of her. Then I made sure you don't become the governor because I fucked up your leaflet. And that also showed me as well how scared you all are of me. And then exactly came Amir to my house in Welland, and you guys sold yourself there. How all of that is connected. But there's so much fucking shit that it's just too much to basically say. So, and recently I was thinking, who, like, in the meditating and my connecting with to my third eye, and then God said to me like that, yes, I have to expose this guy that have unlived his disabled brother for insurance money. And of course, few of you involved in the situation, trying to be some power kings over other people's lives, and this drug dealing and this prostitution in town, and furthermore, it's you must have had a brother as well, disabled one. It shows me just one face. I don't know if you had a disabled brother, but now as people hearing this, if you ever had a disabled brother, then God basically saying you're not getting away with that you are a serial killer, and you are a serial killer, and how police covered this murder of Ula, where I supposedly meant to be dying with her, how all of you are connected. And yes, when I used to come to you police before, I was coming exactly to free these young women from modern slavery and forced prostitution. And it's funny how they are targeted, because most of them went through Hope House, which is a house for homeless single mothers, where these ladies opening doors to Bakar and Ozzy's family to come and drug the deals inside the building. I have evidence of that as well, and I have so much more evidence of you, including, as I've mentioned before in one part, the video when you threatening me when you killed my kitten, and you threatening me like, who the fuck are you? You wanted to stand against Mr. Ishfaq? Yeah, I wanted. And I'm standing against all of you and I'm laughing because I am winning. None of you are. And this is actually funny because when you guys stripped me of everything, finances and that is the best position that God could put me through, just so He can prove you guys that He is God. And I am His vessel for this justice. Thank you. I couldn't ask for a better life. And I know how that you all fucking shaking, shitting. You try to put depression on me, trauma? Please, bitches. So yeah, Was told me I have to call the police. Like he suggested, because it was I just see that it bothers everybody that I don't get the police involved. So I called the police. And they called Was as well red-handed, because as they came to my house and I was giving them a statement, after which later they just said like, so what, we're not gonna help you. Was at the same time, coincidence, came and started kicking the fuck out of my door, having my children with him. And that was one of the biggest problems. And Amanda used to be by my side, and children will tell you that Was never missed a day to humiliate me. He didn't give a shit until today. He doesn't give a shit about my sons and their mental health. And when I wanted to give boys their instruments, so you take it to your back room where they could actually practice, you didn't even did that for them. You didn't even take their instruments, and you lying that they're going swimming and everything. Boys got that huge trauma that recently when their friends offered them to go swimming, they said they are scared. After years of swimming, now they're scared of doing things, of breathing, of coming out, the shit you and your family done. Way. This is so amazing, because everything that you guys have and build it for all these years, apart from pretending of being a perfect Muslim families, and the money and how you guys get it, English people will love it to have it back. And you welcome. It's my pleasure. I've called the police and they of course showed me straight away like, we ain't gonna help you. But the game started before that. Let's go maybe a little bit, not about me, the shit and the crap the police did and how I fucking did you when I had my drink and I was getting my salaries. I got very funny stories as well. And the specific part that I wrote about the police, I've turned it into sketch because when I was telling people like some stories that happened with me and the police, they were in stitches because they thought I'm joking, but this situation actually happened, and I realized that this is so fucking dramatically hilarious. I will write a sketch, a stand-up show, how I've become how fucked up by justice of UK. That will be your part. Let's go to Ula's murder. Shall we? Or shall we first jump, because this is gonna be a long story, or shall we first jump of how the rape case started with you police involved at my house in Warrington, involving Amir. Let's say 3.5 hour conversation. You do know I've got that recorded, yeah? And I do have recorded, and also how I'll smart you when I was getting followed. And I've got another surprise for you, because when I'm gonna now when I'm gonna be coming out, because I'm getting followed and stalked and everything, you go huge surprise for you, because I know how humans brain work, how I'm gonna fuck you up on this. I'm hilarious, I know. So shall we go maybe how you've cut off my door thinking Amir killed me, he finished the job and tra la la. And I went to this house, rented B&B. And like I told you before, when I touch something, and for whoever watched Wednesday movie, I will have my vision. So I've got a few people as a witnesses as well, and the woman that was poisoning me in that house, she admitted she shot herself. And it's actually funny because when she admitted, and I went to her house afterwards anyway, when she wanted to apparently say sorry, she goes, my daughter's gonna be there, nothing's gonna happen to you. I wouldn't give a fuck anyway, because I know who I am, I know my powers, and how many times I've walked into your snake caves and come back laughing. But on the last time when I saw Emilia, when she was admitting that she also cooperating with the police because she has no choice, and with the father of my kids and the granddad also, and that all the poisoning was basically done by all of them. But 2 years before that, now it would be like 5 years, there on that road, it was missing one English woman, and she's not been found. And me and these other Polish people were, after I've touched, because I'm a sick builder, so when we were smoking weed with Emilia outside in the garden, I sat on bricks. And I've been in the house was just simple, living room, kitchen, bathroom, then you go stairs to go upstairs, and straight one room and another room. When she poisoned me there, the first time when I actually drank a bit of that poison and I started going dizzy, the first thought I had, it was fuck, I need to close the doors. So I've checked one door, then I checked the garden door, the keys were in there, so I know nobody can walk in, but I am feeling something, there is an entry, there is another entry in this house. And as I was going dizzy, my cats luckily were there with me. I'm looking for some chimney, no, but I am about to faint. I've managed to go upstairs, I've checked in the cupboard, no secret doors, I'm barely walking to the other room, and I'm already sitting on the bed, and then I see attic. And this thing telling me, get up Eve, lock it, get up Eve, you must lock this attic. And I don't know how, because that kicked me really, really fucking hard. I stepped on the table desk and I just did and fell off. Watch mirror. The next day, my cat is waking me up. He's putting his tongue in my nose and trying to wake me up. And I finally did wake up, licking my lips and trying to, like, wake me up. When I woke up, I had a bracelet on a string, like the balls representing the chakras, the gemstones. My cat, before I got off the bed, ripped my bracelet, because my cat is really fucking smart cat. What happened? I already knew, like, she's trying to show me something. When I start picking up the balls, I'm finding under my bed 2 bottles of clonazepam. And yes, with my health condition, with my intestines, that would be probably the best and the quickest version of ways of killing me. That was overdose, because I've read what does clonazepam with, for example, alcohol or whatever. It would make my heart go faster. It would look, they would made it like I overdrank or overdrank myself. And then Mr. Ishfaq not only have contacts in the police, baby lovers, but also in the hospital. Like I've mentioned about the rape day, where police were forcing me to go to the hospital to prove that I did not get pregnant, so they can jab me and send me off to work. Yeah. So when I messaged Emilia and she started admitting, she started shitting, she's inviting me to her house. So I know this is a continuation. I went to her house. Yes, her daughter was there. We actually got like, all the kids love me. Your son even fell in love with me. And she goes, oh, actually need a drink as well. She goes, so you don't think I'm poisoning you today? I got us drinks in cans. And I was keeping an eye on my can, but the daughter was still going, not to lose any eyesight for a second from that can I was drinking. And then our drinks were standing not far from each other, and then Emilia, oh my god, my husband's coming home. But her husband, I know from 19 years ago, and they're setting up cameras, spy devices at home, and this clonazepam, that is, I think, his invention. So she goes, oh my days, my husband's coming, I'm gonna quickly get you a taxi, you need to go. But the taxi normally take 10-15 minutes. The area she lived in, Orton, that is like definitely 10-15 minutes before the taxi will arrive. But the taxi was already there. But in that split second, when she just slightly turned to look on her phone, like just to apparently order me the taxi, which was already waiting, my angel made me quickly swap the cans. And she goes, Dodna, which means knock it down. So I knocked the cans with her, and I'm drinking my down. And she, as she was drinking, she's already went. And she just gave me the last, because she could not already say anything. That's how strong it was. She already was like, you bitch, with her eyes. For 2 days, she didn't show her fucking life signs on the internet. And then interesting thing is that she also told me that she and her whatever does B&B, cleaners and everything, that they helping a guy who supposedly in Poland be the detective that search for missing women, that they helping him women get missing. And I always knew that since a childhood, and I was like, kurwa, I always wanted to do this guy over, because of course when my parents were watching news and I seen this guy in the TV, well, whatever I see that is not true is already tell me, yeah? Like, I just know what is true, what is not. And I always was like, this guy fucking lying. Rutkowski is helping this, that he's the original one that stole the kids, and now they want lots of money from powerful people. And then they also, during this madness, sent after me a Polish guy who I know how to speak with people, and I know what to speak with them and everything, so they reveal through themselves. So how they speak about themselves, apart from that, I already know what aura energy they have it in there, because I listen and I know how to ask. I get the right answers. So yeah, you are gonna be fucked up as well, and all these missing women and the childrens and these winning trips to Egypt so the kids get kidnapped or women never come back, that is on you all as well, and I will reveal to Poland how this is happening. But I am already gonna tell you, because about this I'm gonna talk in a different part. So it is by companies that mounting CCTV cameras in rich people and organization crowds. So in that B&B house that I was staying in, when I told you guys, when I sat on the rocks, I felt like somebody's dead in here. And my children and other people will also tell you that dead people do connect with me. And even this house I am living currently in was not given to me as in a coincidence, because this woman that died here before, she died from your people's hands as well. Yes, so sitting on the rocks. Now, being a builder, I'm watching the building. I see that these bricks were not used anywhere inside this house. Nowhere. So after, when I locked the attic, and then the next day I called my friends, we start testing the drinks. My English friend, that she is a witness to so much shit, and she recorded police in numerous times, and she went to the police with me, and these English people went to me to the court. They also come that day, and she quickly get the strips for testing poisoning drinks and everything. And this fucking hell, I tell you, before we go to the attic, when we were testing the drinks, I made a video, but and these samples and everything that are with a different police force. Now, my friend said to me, bring water. Bring a glass of water, we will see if actually all of these drinks are poisoned, including Coca-Cola, all of the whiskey that I have, that everything is poisoned. Bring a glass of water. And what I do, when somebody asks me for a glass of water, I don't give them tap water, I give them the water from kettle, but I forgot. So when we tested that water in the glass, that was like fucking hell, it bleached the whole strip. But we assume that basically water in the tap is just like fucked up, whatever. It was my birthday. So me and my friends, we went for a dinner to town. And after I come back drunk to this place, back home for then, I wanted to drink a glass, I was thirsty and I wanted to grab that glass of water. But one of my ancestors, the people that are protecting me, they made the water fall on the carpet, and the next day I'm waking up and it's fucking bleached. But what I forgot still, that I took the water from the kettle. And one of these people that is involved, and his daughter Sylvia, in the murder of Ula, and then this Slovakian guy. Just because I don't mention you Slovakians doesn't mean that I don't fucking know how much part you've got in all of this. That this guy didn't hang himself is just was. And about suiciders, I've got my definition. It's been checked. It maybe become as a fact of the discovery. What I know, because half of my family are suiciders. I always wanted to know why rich and poor people, what they have as one reason that they would do such a thing, because it's not about weakness or being strong to take your own life, yes? I've made a tea for a daughter-in-law of one of these people that attack women, force them to prostitution and bully guys, in Polish guys, and forcing money out of them or whatever, no matter slavery. Yeah? She was 9 months pregnant at that time and waiting to give a birth at any time now. I made her, she came, but luckily before she came, my security mate from which I was working with before, he came because he was, we were messaging at that time, just asking me how I am dealing with this. He was supporting me through the time, and he was next to me when they murdered Ula again, because that attempt at the house didn't work out. She was alive in the hospital, but then her heart was sold, so they unplugged her. Of course, we'll get to this story. So he goes, oh, I can jump out here, because he didn't know that I am not far away in my own house, but I'm just near in town. So the instructor dropped him off, and luckily he was the first one I've made tea for, because if that pregnant woman drunken, it would be a instant karma to the family, because it would be straight collapse, and fuck knows what would happen to this little girl that was born after. When I made him tea, he only took a sip and he went dizzy straight away, felt sick, ill. And then I remember that I took the water to test from the kettle. We went upstairs to check the attic prison, and there was the only place that those bricks were built in. There's an extra wall in the attic, and there were door made like with the post box taken in, so like if they imprison somebody there, they could give some food through the post box. Interesting fact is as well that apart from that was so clean, the floor was clean, and there was that piece of newspaper about a missing woman. But further to that, from this house that I was staying in, because this is why we went upstairs, it was an entry to the house that was next to it, and they were also connected with each other by Wi-Fi. So when I understood as well that here must be a lot of spy devices, and I switched off the Wi-Fi, the guy come straight away knocking because I can't see anything. I called the police with my friends 100 times that day for you to come and check this, starting from the kettle, from everything, and police, as usually, yeah, easy, fuck her. Let's finish her mentally, that she's not gonna get help from us, tra la la la. Police didn't come, and then when I was talking to some new police officers, fresh ones, that they did not met me before, they could not believe it. But I have evidence of everything, all fucking witnesses. And I said to the police that this woman is behind the wall. Because going even outside the building, there was no reason for the chimney or for whatever. As a professional builder, and I've done not just a fucking easy building work, I know this was unnecessary, and the wall upstairs in the attic was not needed there as well. Guess what? This B&B was sold like no other property 2 weeks later. And police never went and checked it, because they already know how many missing women is and how they are getting missing. What a funny fact is, when they murdered Dashka, and I had a contact with the Lincolnshire police, and they also know everything and tra when I got once kidnapped by Amir, and he took me to Skegness on unwanted trip, so then people can come and start doing shit around my house while I'm not in it, because they had certain entries. He did one maneuver there, and when we came back to Peterborough, police straight away come after us from Lincolnshire, because people reported what they have saw. And the first thing the police said to me, "Do you know that your boyfriend," I said, "This is not my boyfriend, this is my predator. Do you know that he is a big drug dealer, like known over the whole England?" And I was like, "Just tell me more. Then how is he still walking, fucking running me over, and just got a full privilege of the police to basically kill me?" Because of course police, how many times, every time this guy landed in jail, you lot brought him straight to my house and you covered it, and you gave me signals that yeah, he's got to finish job, but he, and I got this reported, and when I was giving reports to police as well, and I said to them, and this is why, because you know what, mercy is exactly for the God. Why I will not let him come out of jail is on you. Because you allowed him run people over, because I'm not the only one he ran over. You people hiding the drugs. And I also believe he is not in jail, because on many occasions when, after the rape, when we meant to have the court case, he just appeared and said, I got very good lawyers. And he said to me then, either you obey me and be under me, or you're gonna get killed. And I told you, police, my choice was clear, because you working with each other. So, and I said it to your face, but you all must have been hoping that some of the murder attempts will be successful, and all of this madness will never come out. And I will disappoint you here, because first of all, that you guys think that my will is still on the godfather of my children, which you guys have contact with, is not happening. I've done, while I was in Poland, I've worked that all out before, and of course I am extremely smart and I've got my wisdom. And when I was making the reports, and this will never die, and you people have no clue who's got rights over everything and who has it. And I've warned you before, stop this. I even cried because my kids suffering. And I said, I am willing to give up the dog case, how you murdered my dog, how you've done everything. I am willing to give this all up, including the rape and what you guys did to me in Welburn, and how you destroyed everything, my caravan and stuff. I am willing to drop it. Just check on my kids. I didn't even say return them to me. Go and check them, show them that there is some justice, that somebody cares. You motherfuckers stopped me and said to me, good luck. I didn't need your good luck. Now, so much time has passed. Do you fucking think the damage is done? Even if you return me kids today, please, please. Who the fuck you thought you playing with? This is my life. And yeah. And I also told you that why I am alive, I control what I'm gonna say, how I'm gonna say, and when I'm gonna say, and by the perfidy and the shit that you guys did. You know, I can mention your names. I've got still all emails. You guys could have been deleting. I even made 5 copies of each, and I went to the police and I gave them folders, and the guy was like, I actually thought for a second, have I had a line or something? Did he's like showing me that I've got a little aureola around my nose or something? I was thinking, and he was just like, I'm giving him evidences, and the shit the father of my kids did and Amir did. I promise you, after this, England will have back the sentence of triple lifetime. Because just from the basic things they did, which they horrible things, but let's avoid the murder, the rapes and that serious things, but the false allegation and the shit that happened to my children, if you give them the minimum of each crime that they commit against my children, just, and that is already one lifetime. But it's funny because Wasim never pulled out money. Wasim come crying at once, and he goes, hey, because he committed so many crimes, and of course he caused so many accidents, drink driving, taxi driver, risking people's life, and he lost his license as well, but still been driving the cars, because you know, Pakis can do that between their whatever, brothers, sisters, Mohammeds, and other things. He goes, but police forcing me to finish you off so before you finish them off. And you lot gave a father who was threatening me and children. And did you guys forget we had a run around Peterborough because he was threatening me with suicide? And then after what he been doing to Mikey's dad, that implemented the mental. You guys, do you fucking understand what you did? What is still happening to my children? And the shit you fucking covering? Even if you have had successfully murdered me, I would have come back and finished you off with the bullets in my fucking mouth. You don't know who did you started with. And they are my children. And thanks to me, these women actually will get saved. And there will be no Asians walking into their houses, robbing them and saying to them, no, we're not going nowhere. You're now vulnerable. Even police won't help you. You're gonna suck dicks for us, keep our coke, and tra la 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 la. Oh no. Now God is going to show you a hand of God. The emails, the everything, the recordings. Oof. I even called you a few times to your main desk and I asked how many of you actually got rights to work in there. Mr. Nick Dean, I'm coming for your chair. And of course I can. None of you is as righteous as me. And these corruptions and all of that, now is getting exposed. And I've done other things. And while you've been thinking I've done nothing, I didn't have to. Because little that you people know, while you've been watching me and doing these things, you've been watched as well. Yes, because you know, I've learned something as well when I was studying for becoming for the security badge. Did you, any of you know, there is a question like this. Imagine you're basically a security officer or you're a police officer and you are seeing a pedophile walking with a child to a hotel. And the room is on the bottom floor, that you can actually see that what you assumed is true, that the child is getting raped. What would you do? Of course, many people, I will step in, tra-la-la. I stayed quiet because I know it was a tricky question, and it was. You're not allowed to do nothing. And they give you tres straight away. That if you don't pull up your phone and you don't ring a special agency dealing with this, so they can observe who they are connected. So basically this kid's getting raped because they want to see who is connected with who and how that works. And didn't I get a pen drive from a professor from St. Mark's Church with a list of all of the pedophiles? Didn't I take that to Poland 9 years ago? You don't even know what I've already set it up in motion then. So basically, you know now there are agencies that are working on top of you and they have the authorities to finish you all up. And I had to be just a platform and they fucking surprised as well. Because mentally I am perfectly fine. Unlike any of you combined together. Even your religion can't help you. But God is within me. I'm sure you're learning that now. I'm gonna finish on this because I actually don't know for how long I'm speaking now and how long it will take me to upload it, and it's getting darker and I need to put electricity back on so I can see properly. I also told these murderers of Ula that, okay, you did what you did. But Ula did not die in the hospital. No, okay, you've murdered another person. Still a murder. It's a double fucking homicide. But when I got kidnapped by Ozzy, saved life, Ula, like never before, because she only used to drink beers. But like never before, she was drinking beers and vodka that day. And she was driving drunk home. And she was stopped by the police without full paperwork, MOT, and I'm not sure if she did not have insurance as well. Yeah, if you guys arrested her drunk driving or seize the car for whatever, that would not happen, would it? So will that happen or no? Now she was all that day raped. There was about 14, 16 people there. And I don't give a fuck about your children that were there. And if they did rape her, I don't know who raped her. But Chopin, Pawełku, this is for you, and Paweł is connected with this BNB and Adelia and all the other shit. They make amphetamine, how they claim, for the police, and which is easy to believe. Now, Łukasz, aka Słoniu, and Lesiu have said, and I've got on a few occasions, you guys think I've been drinking with them vodka because I was just homeless? I've carefully, and they were there while they were drinking ciders, I was buying vodka. Łukasz, unlike other people, I can say he bought alcohol as well, and like not many, like none of you actually, he did gave money back. So with that, he's alright man. And there is another thing, but that's on another part. That I actually feel for Słoniu. Okay, he's a fucking mental bastard, and what he did to fucking Serena, how he cracked her fucking face, and then he stood on her face like this. I actually thought she's dead. It's a fatality. I'm so happy I've witnessed this. And Charlie was there, Lesiu was there, and now the murdered guy, Zibi, was there at the same time. And I've got that also recorded what they were saying before about Ula, Daszka, cha-cha-cha-cha. When he smashed Serena's face, now I know who smashed Ula's face. Her bruises and that way her nose was broken was exactly like Serena. That was from a stomp on the fucking face, you motherfuckers. I won all of the bruises that Ula, Daszka and another women that were murdered, or they died because they were just drinkers. No, I wore these bruises. And what did you police did? Even though when my necklace was stolen, and I went to the LAR brokers and I asked them, is my necklace in here? And the guy who sold me that necklace, he just nodded yes. Because the Star of David, so this is just one necklace there like that. And now my necklace, kurwa, hangs in the same shop because you police did not went and collect it. And it's pre-owned, £159. You gonna buy that for me? 10 times. So, yeah, if you have arrested Ula, she would have not died. But this and her husband, having been missing, just like Danes apparently, that they were missing 30 kilo of heroin or something, and somebody had to pay for this. And little that you people know, when you set the house on fire, the money required to clean that debt were already there. Because little that you guys know, Ula used to like jumping in the charity bins and got me hooked on this. That's why I look so well without money. We collected from there antiques, and few of these antiques would clear all of the debts, but you guys killed her, and you did, and fuck you, you did it. No, that's all gone now. The end of story. But I've got you all mapped up. I don't give a fuck about any of you. You can't come after me, and even if you do, still anything happens to me or whatever, this is game over. That is game over. And yet, you've forgotten that Ula's children clearly know she was murdered. They have evidence from their own family, what they did to their mother. These kids are coming to a full age. And do you know why I never went court? And because Was was like, you want to speak to the kids? Unless I was giving them shoes or something. If you want to speak to the kids, go to court. To that corrupted court? No, I invested the rest of the money that I have for the future. That if something happened to me, there will be other people that will sue you. And I tell you, I also allow these people to destroy many of people in here if they still gonna be fucking getting themselves involved coming after me. Who the fuck you think you are? To destroy even the drug dealers. But what I wanted to say, because now I remember I didn't finish it when police offered me, and I wanted to see how this whole snitching process is working and why all of these people are not in jail, but other drug dealers, they don't change numbers. And of course I've got drug dealers and all this cooperating, working on Mr. Ishfaq's Dogstrop area, including the father of my kids. Oh, and there's the drug dealers, they still got the same number. And I tell you something, I also have a video from the neighbor I had at that time, when she recorded her at this time 14-year-old son coming out from the same car that came to drop the drugs for the father of my kids when he come to see the kids. Oh, Amanda, you see, now you know exactly how the father of my children is, and I've dropped you a folder of evidence as well. What righteous did you do? Now, I've got something else for you. You see, he would not invest in their activities, and the first thing they said, they missed their instruments and cards, was still offering them weed. He wants them to become lunars on early age, and my son's friends, which are 15 years old, telling me they're smoking weed with the father of my children, and I exactly know where. And I've got evidence of that, little that you people know. You want to put spy devices and everything around? What makes you fucking think that I've never went into the alley and I didn't leave there something that I've collected later? I'm too sick. I need to rest now. Game over. Yeah.